If you grab anime girls and combine them with tentacles, what do you get? That's right, you get Tabitha, an octopus anime girl ready to support your team and bring it to the next level. What, did you think I was going to say something else? What's good, guys? CJ here, and welcome back to another DNA video. Today we're taking a look at Tabitha. I know I've been telling y'all that I'm going to make a build video for this character for several days, so here it is. Now, I gotta be honest, y'all have seen me play with Tabitha since day 2, and I gotta tell y'all, she is an amazing character to have on your account. Personally, I think she's a very, very good unit to specifically use as an AI companion. She brings loads to the table. Not only is she going to help with crowd control, but she's going to amplify your damage quite a bit by simply having her run with you. With all that said, in this video, we're going to break down the character, the demon wedges, the weapons, and overall the utility that she brings to your team. So with that being said, let's actually hop on into the video. First off, like always, we're going to start things off with the demon wedges. As we can see, the stats are pretty interesting on this character. She is not built to be a main DPS. Can you use her as a main DPS? Probably. Some people out there be doing what they want, but I think her best usage is going to be as an AI companion because she's simply just that good, right? So we're sitting here with only 600 hydro attack. We do have some very high sanity. We have some nice, very nice skill duration and a little bit of skill efficiency on that. She does have some decent skill damage added on there as well, but the main gist for me, for my build for her, is going to be duration, efficiency, and sanity. That's it. I'm not trying to have her deal damage. As long as she can have that skill duration, that efficiency, and that sanity, she's absolutely cooking. Now, let's move on over to the demon wedges. The first mod that I think you should rock on your Tabitha is going to be Frosty Torrent. It's going to give you skill damage, and when a hydro character uses a skill, the user and nearby allies gain an attack increase equal to a certain percent of the user's attack for 10 seconds. She's going to be using skills all the time. You're always going to have an uptime on this particular buff, and getting a nice little buff on your other characters is going to be super, super good. Now, from here, we have a couple other mods that are not as important, like, for example, Blaze, that's just giving her attack percentage, is just kind of slotted in there for the hell of it. But then we have some other very important mods like Prime Uplift. Now, for those of you that don't know, you can go ahead and either run Uplift or Serenity. It just depends on what your other AI companion is running. But this one is going to give you some nice stats and is going to increase the damage dealt by you and your teammates. And considering that usually my other teammate is more of a supporter role, like even more of a supporter role, healer with buffs, and she can still dish out some damage, I like running Uplift on her. I think it's pretty damn good. Then we have Midnight Sun, which is going to give her hydro attack, skill damage, and skill duration. I love the skill duration on this character. I think it's super, super vital, and I'll tell you guys why in a second. Then we have Wings Volition, which is going to give max sanity and skill damage, which is pretty damn good. Then we have Eternity Abnegation, which is going to give skill duration and negative skill range. Skill range doesn't even matter here, so I just have this for the skill duration. I think it's super, super valuable. Then we have Eternity for more skill duration, yes sir. And then we have Wings Inspo for max sanity and max skill efficiency. And that's pretty much her whole kit. You can go ahead and build her for more skill efficiency, which is great, so she can spam her skills even more. I personally haven't built her that way just yet, but I will be putting more skill efficiency on her. But with so many videos being dropped, I've been kind of busy. Nonetheless, the duration on this, super good. And the skill efficiency on this is also super good. She's going to be just fine. For the middle slot, just put what you want. I just like the one when taking damage, there's a 50% chance to reduce the damage taken by 20%. Once again, before we move on, skill duration and skill efficiency are her ideal 2 stats for my particular build. Moving on over to the weapons. No doubt about it, her melee weapon without a shadow of a doubt is going to be Shackle of Lone Wolf. An absolute beast of a freaking weapon. An insane weapon. You want to make sure you run this weapon on this character. It is so freaking good. Trigger probability 75%. When a Hydro character triggers a bonus effect with this weapon, other allies gain 33% attack for 6 seconds. When a Hydro character, this is one of the best weapons, and pretty much she's the only one that can really be proccing it like that. I guess you can give it to Rebecca, but it's just catered for her. It's super, super good, and you're always going to have this attack buff popping off. And even if it's only 6 seconds, when a Hydro character triggers a bonus effect, She has 100% trigger probability on here. I'm going to show you guys my build real quick. It's not even fully cooked up, right? So when it comes to the damage mods, none of these are really important, right? Like Impetuous, Focus, none of these are important. The only mods that I really think are really valuable when it comes to this particular weapon are going to be simple, right? You're going to want things that maybe give you some attack range, maybe, not even that important. You're going to want attack speed. You're going to want attack speed so she can go off as fast as possible, and then maybe trigger a bonus effect more often. That's going to be really good, having some attack speed on here. On top of that, you want to make sure you have, right here, trigger probability. Trigger probability is going to be absolutely great. The weapon already has an insane amount of trigger probability, so having even more trigger probability to make sure you're at 100%, it's just going to be absolutely beautiful. And then everything else that I have on here is, once again, trigger probability. The combi duration is just kind of there, but once again, it's mainly for the trigger probability, and that's really it. Right, nothing else in here, as you can see, is that important. Upgrade Sword's normal attack to deal double the damage of the standard attack, and attack speed. So once again, this is here for attack speed, Fenrir's World of Illusion, so I really like it. Attack speed right here, attack speed right here. It's just overall a very, very good way to just continue to attack very, very fast. Now, if you want to run her with a ranged weapon, because ranged weapons on her are actually very, very good, and I'll tell you guys why later, you can go ahead and equip Art-like Apocalypsis. Very, very good weapon. It's going to give her more skill duration, which we already know it's very good, and landing a crit hit with this weapon randomly grants other allies one of these effects, which are pretty damn good for 16 seconds. Now, when it comes to this is pretty much the standard build that I have on this, and I'm going to make a video specifically on this weapon, because I do know that for its usage, a lot of people don't know about this, and I'm just going to give you a quick tip with it, right? When it comes to this weapon, you want to make sure you equip right here, this thing, Lilith's Focus. Crit chance 100%, but it reduces your attack speed. You might be wondering, why do you want to reduce attack speed? Listen, the buff on this weapon lasts 16 seconds. You don't need this character to keep going off and shooting her arrows non-stop, and bow users will just blitz through their arrows. So this is super, super good to make sure she shoots a lot slower, giving her more longevity on her ammunition and allowing your buff to have even more uptime. That's pretty much it. After this, Rain of Quivers for multi-shot is going to decrease the damage dealt, but once again, we don't care for the damage. It's just, you know, the multi-shot to activate the effects on it, yada, yada, yada. And arrows to give it max ammo, which is going to give us a lot more ammo on the bow, and that's it. And the last thing that I have on here is Decline, which I will be testing other things. But when dealing a crit damage, there's a 100% chance to disarm the target. I just think this is kind of funny, kind of interesting, if it does what I think it does, but sometimes it's kind of hard to tell. Overall, it's pretty interesting. That's just the main gist of this whole build. That's the entirety of it. With this right here, you're going to be able to have an insane crit chance. We have a 92% crit chance on this. And when it lands a crit, which is going to be literally always, with how this weapon shoots, let me just show you guys. With how this weapon shoots, you're always hitting something, bro. Like, you're always hitting something. You don't got to worry about this at all. There's a bunch of shots being fired, right? And all of them have an insane crit rate chance. So you're going to be critting. Now, with her melee weapon, you're always going to, you know, be triggering all this buff. So regardless what you choose to go with her, which, by the way, are both her ideal weapons, you're going to be buffing yourself quite a bit and buffing your teammates and all that good stuff. Now, moving on to the Geniemons, it's simple. The Battle Pass Geniemon is very, very good on her. Once again, the summons, blah, 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 is going to work with the tentacles. It's going to increase the damage dealt by self and allies, which is pretty good. And then increases the Hydro attack for the main character and the combat partners, which, once again, very, very good. If you're trying to run her as a main DPS. And I'm just throwing this Geniemon out here because I know people want to talk about, oh, what if I run her as a main DPS? It's just there, right? And nonetheless, if you're running another character, for example, Rebecca, it still applies. You'd still want to run this with her. It's going to be very good. This one's going to be very good as well to run because it increases the attack of all allied summons, which is very good. She does have summons. And then you can go into looking at other, like, Hydro-type characters. I believe, no, not this one. It's this one. I don't even know where it's at. This one right here. Increases the attack of self and allies. The main character and combat partners gain Hydro attacks, so that's like the third option. But the first two that I gave y'all are overall pretty good. This one and this one right here. Now, From here, let's actually talk about her kit, because her kit is actually pretty insane and it's pretty straightforward. We have her buff, her summons, and her passive. It all starts off with the summons, the ultimate as we like to call it. She summons 9 tentacles around Tabitha, inherits 100% of Tabitha's stats, continuously dealing hydro damage to nearby enemies, and capturing up to 2 enemies to immobilize them. Why I like this so much is simply because it's going to help you with, you know, just holding down areas. Like, there might be a lot of enemies. She throws this down. She'll just be dealing damage and grabbing the mobs, which is really damn good. And she's going to immobilize them. Now, this doesn't work on bosses or anything like that, but it's still pretty good for, like, trash mobs, right? On top of that, once you cast this, right, you have her buff. Commands all summoned tentacles to attack once, increasing their damage dealt, and also grants self and allies a boost to skill damage. So pretty much, you would summon your tentacles, and then you would use this to command them to attack and boost yourself and allies. Now, you might be asking yourself, how much is the skill buff? You're buffing yourself for 44% skill damage boost, which is an amazing buff, and this is going to last for 15 seconds with my build. It's about 15 seconds, maybe 14 seconds, depending on which weapon you're running, but still, 14 to 15 seconds on a 44% skill damage boost is massive. And the cost has gone down a little bit to 27 sanity cost, which is not a problem because you guys saw that her sanity is actually pretty high with this build. And considering that it lasts so long, you'll be absolutely fine to burst down anything you want, right? When it comes to this right here, you guys can see all the damage it does and the duration on them. With this build, the tentacles are going to be on the field for 23 seconds, which is a massive amount of duration on this. Once again, I'm going to be tweaking the build a little bit more, so just giving you a heads up, and I will be making it so the actual sanity cost is even lower. So yes, we're going to be working on that. The duration is nice, but I do think that the sanity cost going lower is probably a little bit better. Just letting y'all know. Then we have the passive. Dealing crit damage using a ranged weapon has a chance to summon 1 tentacle near the target, which can only be triggered once per second. A max of 18 tentacles can exist at the same time, and it's the same. They inherit Tabitha's skills, and this is why she's good with the bow, because not only is it going to do what the bow does, but when she crits with it, which she's always going to be critting with it, she's going to be able to summon a tentacle, which is really, really nice. From here on in, when summoning Tentacle, Tabitha gains 1 stack that increases her crit chance up to 10 stacks. So at that point, you're 100% crit. You're always critting if you're using the bow. So whichever one, whether it's the bow or whether it's the sword, she's perfect for both. And then the last thing is her support skill. Increases the skill damage for self and allies by a little bit more, which is 8%. So you add this to this buff right here, and it's an absolute chonker of a buff, ladies and gentlemen. I highly advise you rock this character with units that, you know, might need some skill damage, because she is going to give them some pretty damn good skill damage just from her kit, from her actual skills. And then if we throw into that with this weapon, she's always going to be able to pop off and give her allies this much of an attack boost consistently, or if you like the range, she's going to be able to give them attack or defense or skill damage or skill duration. It's pretty damn good. Regardless of it, she's a very solid character, often overlooked for other units out there that might be more popular in the terms of support, but she deals some amazing support to your team. Now, we can talk about the introns, but I will be making more videos for all of these characters regarding their introns once I have them all maxed up. So it's going to take some time. You know, it is going to take some time, but I'm just going through them so you can actually see them for yourself. I just got to let you know that when it comes to her introns, it just gives her more supporting capabilities, but I'll break them down in detail in a future video. Now, I'm going to show you guys a clip real quick of how valuable her buffs actually are, how often you're going to be proccing the Shackle of the Lone Wolf, how often you're going to be proccing these skills right here, these buffs, which is actually freaking insane, ladies and gentlemen. So I'll meet you guys in a second. All right, so here we are in the testing room, and I just want to show you a little bit of what this looks like. Right, we have the enemies out here not moving. Let's go ahead and make them get attacked. And you guys can see at the bottom some of the buffs that are getting procced. And you guys can see we have an insane amount of buffs being procced right now. So if we just stand here, you guys can see how the buffs are constantly going to be proccing in the back. They're going to go down and then they're going to go back up. And you guys can see that when it comes to the buffs from Tabitha and also from Peebs, which is what I run on my team, the buffs are just always active. They might go down, but instantly get triggered the moment that Tabitha is using her skills. As you can see that she's doing over there, she's attacking with the sword. Boom, the buffs go back up. She's doing her thing. So overall, it's an absolute beautiful character to run on a team, because look at the back. We got PB not doing anything, right? We got little Truffle not doing anything. And you guys can see the buff in the background. It's just always active, constantly getting triggered, right? Whether it's the actual weapon buff or the freaking skill buff. She's just going to be absolutely procking it. You guys see it's pretty much has infinite uptime, which is this buff right there. Skill, she just used skill, blah, blah, blah. Look, instantly procking because of the sword. So you always have that attack increase from the sword, which in my opinion is super good. And like I'm telling y'all, it has pretty much infinite uptime because she's always going to be procking everything. There we go. Now we got the skill buff. And you guys can tell that little Truffle, little Peebs over here ain't doing nothing. Tabitha's just holding it down, and she's pretty much always giving us these buffs. I love how good this character is, and I feel that she's often overlooked. But when you guys see, literally always has uptime on her buffs. But yeah, man, that's going to be it for this video. If you've enjoyed it, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Within the next couple of days, we have several other build videos, so stay tuned and check out the channel. We have tons of videos, tips, guides, all that good stuff. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace. Crazy dumb buffs are still going.